Difficulties in consistent performance, and I think at that stage, for that level, I was not good enough to be able to put together consistent performances. And obviously when you start off, there is no expectation. People aren't really sure what they're going to get. Then when you play and you perform, people expect that, and if not better. And I found that very hard at the start. The expectations on what people were expecting were very high, and a lot of the times I was not able to meet those expectations. It wasn't a big moment. It wasn't a big moment because I think even in the way I play, I was a very sort of concrete person, and I was not into all of the, say, media, if you want to put it pretty bluntly. So I just concentrated on doing my job and trying to play good football as often as I could. Look, Parma was in a transitional period where they were starting to invest more money on junior players and maybe not your top international players. So it was a transitional phase at the club, and I think it suited me probably better, because I went to join a team with probably the best young Italian players going around. Mark Bresciano was already there, so he knew the club and helped me settle in pretty quickly. Even though my first year out of the 3 was probably not my best one. So I had a little bit of a rough time at the start. But then settled in, and the rest of the time, I ended up being captain after a year and a half. So I was obviously doing something right, and they saw leadership qualities. It's a very prestigious, historical football club in Italy, but it didn't work out as well as I thought it was going to, and I started to sort of get a little bit flat in Italy, and I felt like that I needed a new challenge and something different. So I have to say the club did look after me well, and it is a big club to play for. There's a lot of pressure considering their position normally on the table. So it was another positive experience. Never dreamt of playing in the Premier League. It was never a goal of mine as a kid. I only had one dream, which was to play in Italy. There was something about Italian football that I was in love with, and it was my dream to play there. After being there for 10 years, obviously I was always watching English Premier League, and it just got bigger and stronger and better, and they were able to attract more and more top players, and the opportunity was starting to come up even in the previous years, and I'd always taken the option to stay in Italy. Whereas this time I thought, no, this time I want to give it a shot. I was a little bit tired of Italian football, and I thought, let's give it a shot in the UK. My body was starting to play tricks on me, and I was not able to do and play the way I know or was able to. And I think that the most difficult side to my time in England was the body. I started then trying to change training regime and changing diet and changing so many things, and losing, maybe also on my own fault, losing a little bit of focus, and maybe just concentrating on doing what I used to do and do it good. I think I was starting to get a little bit sidetracked in chasing my fitness all the time. And worse just got worse and worse and worse, and before you know it, time passes quickly, and maybe didn't play enough football as much as I should have anyway. I won't lie, there was so many times when I was ready just to hang up the boots and stop. By nature I've always been a fighting type of character, but there's only so many times you pick yourself up off the floor and go again, and have the right enthusiasm, the right passion. I'm not a negative person. I like to be around the club and be positive and always see the glass half full. But it was getting to a stage where I couldn't see anything that I was doing. I was not getting any rewards, or I was not getting any better, and it was very hard. It was a very awkward time. I had 3 months in Italy where I was not sure what I was going to do. I moved my family back to Italy. I was starting to get settled in back into Italian life. Again, my body was not in a great state. And then the call come to join Melbourne, and I thought it was my last crack at it. And I come back with great enthusiasm and really wanted to maybe leave my mark at the club and try to work with young players and show them that, you know, what it is to be a top level footballer. But unfortunately also this experience was negative.